How does the Bible define climate changes in our world? What is the impact on the world, and how will we prevent the disasters that are predicted to occur if we continued to defile God's creation? All over the world, there are people, including children, that are sounding the warning bells of climate change and what will be the consequences to Earth if we do not halt our bad behavior and treat God's land with the respect it deserves. We must understand what scriptures of the Bible warn us about climate change and the part that we are playing, and the consequences to us for our counterproductive actions. Isaiah 24 verses 5 and 6 The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. As inhabitants of this world, we have defiled it because of our greed, and therefore climate change is not a myth, it is a reality, and if we choose to ignore what we are doing to the planet, we do so at our own peril. Genesis 8 verse 22 While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. We can defile the earth all we like, but it is us that will be obliterated, not God's earth. A warning we should take seriously. Jeremiah 2 verse 7 And I brought you into a plentiful country, to eat the fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. Still, when you entered, you defiled my land and made my heritage an abomination. How much plainer can God tell us what we are doing to His creation? We have defiled His land and made His heritage an abomination. If you believe climate change is not, read again what is said in Jeremiah 2 verse 7. Revelation 16 verses 8 and 9 And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of God, which hath power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. Mark 4 verse 19 And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lusts of other things entering in, choke the world, and it becometh unfruitful. Here in the book of Mark, we are told what greed, deceitfulness, riches, and lust does to the world. All of this points to climate change and what we as inhabitants are doing to this world. Galatians 6 verse 7 Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Leviticus 25 verses 23 10-24 The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for you are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession, you shall grant a redemption for the land. Matthew 24 verse 29 Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. If we do not start reversing the effects of climate change, the words of Matthew 24 verse 29 is what we have to look forward to, and there will be nothing that humanity will be able to do about the Bible's prediction. Hosea 4 verses 1-3 Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing, lying, killing, stealing, and committing adultery, they break out and blood toucheth blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, yet, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Climate change is real, and if we look at what is happening in the world today, we would not need to be convinced as to what we are doing to our planet. Fires, earthquakes, flooding, hurricanes have all increased tenfold, and millions are dying because humanity corrupt the earth for greed and Mother Nature is fighting back. You are warned, we must heed our ways and treat God's creation with the respect it deserves. Deuteronomy 11 verses 16 and 17 Take heed to yourselves that your heart is not deceived, and yet turn aside, and serve other gods, and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath is kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you.